turn around and everything has changed. Looking for a way to work it out. I'm trying to find some peace to navigate. The oak tree where I met you and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up 'cause there will be a day we'll meet again. We'll meet again. Everything we wanted turned to gold. The path we chose, the future on our side. Never thought I'd do this on my own, but now I wield the sword you left behind. The oak tree where I met you and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up 'cause there will be a day we'll meet again. We'll meet again. Dark for the sunrise, clouds for a blue sky, space for the traveling star. Strong from the inside, you're still my lifeline. I feel you wherever you are. The oak tree where I met you and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up 'cause there will be a day.
Alright, hello and welcome to a best of 3 series. We are watching the semifinals today. We have Apex going up against L9, two very competent teams that have already made it to the semifinals. L9 both teams a little bit less known, but L9, one of the teams that have proven themselves in past tournaments, and the bans have already come through. So far we have bans on Akali, Alistar, Corki, and also the last ban was Orianna. Orianna, all of the bans do make sense. They are all broken picks, especially Orianna. Whoever has first pick, if they don't pick Orianna, then it's like she's just so broken in the current meta. So a lot of teams have been banning her. And we should be getting into the game extremely soon. All right, so we are going into draft pick, and here we go. So the first pick is Malphite. I think he's super duper broken in the current meta, super tanky, has lots of damage with his ultimate and utility and CC that his team can wombo off of. And first ADC coming out is going to be Ezreal, and Ezreal, a very interesting pick, has tons of outplay potential, but I just don't think that he's the best ADC in the current meta. And the other pick we see coming out is Jarvan. And Jarvan is a jungler that has been doing very well in this tournament so far, picking up multiple MVPs throughout. And we have Braum and Graves. Graves, the pocket pick that we saw coming out from Apex in their match in the quarterfinals, they were able to go for some invades. However, Jarvan is a really strong early game jungler, so we'll see if they are going to be going for that. And then for this other for L9, they do pick Janna and Olaf. So Janna, a really great support. She has a ton of like combo breakers with her tornado and a bunch of heal, and can repel turret dives with her ultimate, as well as Olaf, still pretty broken even though he did get nerfed. And then on the other side, we have the Katarina coming out from Zero, and we know how strong Zero's Katarina can be, as well as Jinx, hyperscaling really well into the game. And she is going to be played with a Braum support, so not Lulu Jinx, but Braum Jinx still can make things happen, especially if Malphite is able to combo his ult into Braum's ultimate. And the last pick in the mid lane, we have Annie, a super powerful pick with her ultimate, can get those Tibber stuns, especially with either Protobelt or Flash. So we are getting into this game, and I expect Apex not to go for an invade even though they have the Graves pick coming out, because Olaf is so strong level 1 and Jarvan is a good early game jungler. So it'd be super risky to go for that invade. But we have both teams loading in right now. I'm super excited to watch this. If you guys are in chat, give them a good luck, have fun. It's going to be a great game, and I can't wait to see what these two teams have in store. So for the team fights, I would say both teams are pretty even. They do have enough damage and combos to dish out that damage during team fights, but we are into the game. So we will see the level 1 strategies. We'll see what they want to be going for, if they are going to indeed go for that invade that I was talking about. But I don't think so. And so far, we just have a normal opening from Apex. And on L9, we also have a normal opening as well. Actually, we do see an invade coming out from Apex. I would be scared because Olaf level 1 is strong. Looks like Jarvan is just going to be handing them that red buff. This may give a lead to the side lanes because they did have to join in on that invade. So some of the minions that were in the lanes could crash onto the tower, giving those lanes a lead. For example, right now, Olaf did crash the wave, and Jinx isn't going to be getting there in time. Same thing with Malphite. So while they do get the successful invade on the red buff, was it really worth it? Especially if Jarvan invades Graves' red, this will definitely not be worth it for Apex because they had to bring all 5 of their members and they had to lose XP. So we'll see if Jarvan is going to go for the invade. This could be very good, a good start for L9 if he is able to get the red buff. Graves is all the way on the other side of the map, and the lanes have been pretty even so far. No huge trades or solo kills coming out in the first few levels, and we'll see if Jarvan will be going for that red buff. So he isn't going to go for the red buff, but he did take the enemy Raptors, and they are currently exactly at the same gold level, both of them having 6.3 thousand gold in the bank for their combined team gold, and both junglers just taking their respective Rift Scuttlers. It's also important to note that we did have a lane swap coming out early on into the match where the solo laners are inside the dragon lane, so we'll see how that plays out. I think Malphite has a stronger level 5 than Olaf if he is able to hit his ult, but Olaf definitely can dish out tons of damage if the situation is right. So far, no really big action coming out. Both teams are just reverting back to normal normalcy after that first initial invade. I think for scaling, I think Jinx is definitely going to be scaling a bit better than Ezreal. Even though if Ezreal gets fed, he can be a bit more scary than Jinx. I feel like Jinx can scale, and if you have a late game Jinx on your team with 4 items or 3 or 4 items, then it can be absolutely devastating for the enemy team. Jinx did pop barrier, maybe scared of the Ezreal ult. She will need to recall soon, or else she could be vulnerable to a gank from the jungler. However, it looks like she's just going to be recalling safe and sound, and no kills are going to be going down for Zero, who did roam from the mid lane, but she isn't going to be getting anything out of it because a ward was placed. So we'll see how the first dragon fight is going to come down. I feel like both teams have the potential to win it with their different team comps. It just really matters on who can hit their ults better. Especially Annie and Jarvan are the ones to watch out for on the side of L9. And on the side of Apex, you want to be watching Malphite, especially if he can get that knockup, as well as Braum. And then Graves has a ton of AoE damage if he is able to wombo it off of one of those 2 ults. And we're also going to be seeing which Baron laners are going to be joining this. If Malphite doesn't join, it could be a lot of impact lost during that fight. It looks like he is trying to recall. We'll see if Olaf is able to stop it. He takes the axe. And with that, both Baron laners are not there. And we'll see who can get this dragon first. Apex does have the position. They are going in. Flash comes out. Annie stuns Graves, who is in the front line. Jarvan does ult Katarina. However, Locket in chat comes out, protecting everyone from the impending damage. L9 currently chasing down Apex, and they are able to pick up the double kill so far. Katarina tries going in to go for some outplay. She is at 1 HP, and Ezreal is going to be finishing that off. Double kill for Ezreal as he does hit that skill shot. Malphite coming in. We'll see if he's able to get amazing flash by Ezreal. Great reaction speed, able to flash away from that ult, saving his own life. And with that outplay, L9 does secure the dragon. The engage just wasn't there. There wasn't the combos that we were looking to see there for Apex. And with that, the first Infernal Dragon as well as 4 kills go to L9. Really well played. And with that, they have a huge early game lead, 3.5 gold in the bank, as well as 4 kills. And currently, L9 just going to recall, spend that gold up, get a bit stronger. Ezreal already hitting Manamune and Sheen so far. He is 2 kills, and the other 2 kills go to the champion. So Annie was able to hit that stun, and they were all able to chase down. And it looks like there may have been some communication issues for Apex that led them to lose that first fight. Rift Herald is spawning in 15 seconds. L9 trying to contest this. Janna able to ult to get the Katarina away. Katarina goes down by Annie. Malphite just getting chased. Braum just getting chased down. He does go down to Ezreal, who picks up his killing spree. And with that, L9 just secure their lead, and as well as take the Rift Herald fairly easily. Graves can't do anything. And L9 just securing their lead, getting some picks. They're grouped up together, farming pretty efficiently, able to pick up 2 kills when Apex wasn't coordinated as L9. And they do summon the Rift Herald into the mid lane. We'll see if they are able to take that down. Mid lane definitely going to be the most important outer turret of the game, as you can set flanks and ganks up around that turret, as well as vision with your wards if you play around it properly. L9 just going to be taking some recalls here as they are resetting with more items. And so Malphite, I think he is just so strong in the current meta because he's not only so tanky, he can dish out so much damage and has such a great ult. It's kind of like Kennen, except if Kennen was freaking tanky and had a knock-up instead. So Malphite, definitely one of the strongest champions in the current meta, showing how amazing he is in this game. Katarina ults Olaf. Olaf popping the barrier. We'll see if Olaf is able to get out. He does burn flash, but Katarina does not get the kill. Both of them are extremely low calorie. Katarina, I feel like, has a bit more outplay potential when this is the kind of situation that they are in. Both of them just going to go for recalls right here. And if we go look at the kills, Annie and Ezreal both have killing spree with 3 kills and 3 assists. Death Cap coming out as the first item for Annie. Definitely a huge power spike, as well as Proto Belt, so she can hit that stun much more easily with her ult. Ezreal just trying to dish out some damage, getting tons of poke on Braum, almost going down right there. Very low HP. And currently L9 is playing this extremely well, putting pressure around the map, and they're taking objectives properly. But definitely Apex has a chance of coming back in this game if they are able to play their cards correctly, and especially if Jinx is able to get fed. And of course, they do have that wombo potential that I was talking about earlier, as well as Jarvan falling off after the early game. Dragon is spawning in 25 seconds. It's going to be the Mountain Dragon. If L9 are able to secure this, that'll make them much more of a threat, as Dragon Soul that they will be threatening later into the game will be much more stronger for them. So both teams grouping around this fight, both of them have recalled, and currently Apex struggling with a bit of a vision problem, as L9 did clear that. Aljana does get slowed, but she is just going to be flashing that a bit overextended, and gets punished by making her waste her flash. The mid lane is, the Rift Herald is summoned in the mid lane. We'll see how that pressure will build onto Apex, and we'll see if they are able to hold. This dragon will be extremely important, and it is now up. No team's going to start it so far. L9 grouping up as 5, and we'll see if they are able to split Apex again and able to get some of the same kind of kills that they were able last game. Jinx recalling here. If she isn't there for the fight, it is almost a guaranteed loss, especially with Ezreal and Annie both being present, the 2 carries that are currently there for the other team. Jarvan going in for the knockup. Beautiful ult by Malphite. However, it's not going to amount to much as the locket is popped. Olaf going in with Sterik's Gauge. He is able to secure the kill onto Malphite. However, he does go down. Katarina getting the kill on Olaf right there. Katarina did overextend for that, so L9 just going to go collapse on her, and with that, they should be able to secure the dragon. 3 of the members of Apex did go down in that fight, with only Olaf going down after going for Malphite. Katarina trying to get the kill back, however, she did go down. Graves trying to go for the steal right now. We'll see if he's able to get it. Jarvan is low, and Jinx able to steal the Mountain Dragon from downtown, hits the ult, gets the steal, and with that, they have another chance of coming back into game. Apex, a beautiful steal by Jinx coming out. Her ultimate does deal execution damage, and Jarvan does go down. So not only are they able to steal the Mountain Dragon, they are also able to secure the kill on Jarvan. Jinx does have execution damage on her ult, which means that she deals damage, extra damage to targets that are lower in HP. Since the Dragon and Jarvan were both low, she was able to get a kill. I'm not sure why L9 didn't keep more of their members at the Dragon to secure that. They knew Graves was alive, and they didn't clear out vision near the end where Graves can go in and try to get that. So a really nice play by both Graves and Jinx. And with that, they are able to take the second dragon, the Mountain Dragon, a little bit less impactful in my opinion than the Infernal Drake. However, still going to be important for those quick burst trades and mitigates a lot of the poke that Ezreal does have on his kit. The mid turret did already go down for L9, as they did have some pressure with that. With the Rift Herald, the mid turret for L9 is pretty low. However, it's not going to go down just yet. It's at 500 HP. And so far, both teams playing pretty well. However, L9 did have that early lead, and they are finding small bits and pieces of ways to capitalize on it. They do have a 4K lead, so not something too small that it's not a big of a threat. However, it's not too big that Apex can't come back. Even though the kills are a little bit skewed, Apex was able to secure that dragon. And if we do look at the items right now, Malphite going to go up to 2.5 items, as well as Annie getting her Oblivion Orb, as well as her Death Cap. Definitely a big power spike. And we'll see Olaf and Malphite going for a little skirmish. Malphite can just back off and slow Olaf. It's just as easy as that with Malphite. And so far, no one has been pressuring the Baron too hard. Olaf is going up on Malphite. However, gank cut from Katarina and Braum are going out. They were a little bit overextended. Malphite having to burn ult to get away. However, Olaf going to go down from that overextension. But in the mid lane, we have them trying to force a numbers advantage. Annie going down. Annie killing Jinx, who goes down. And Jinx not there for the team fight is huge for L9. We'll see if they are able to capitalize on this. So far, they aren't going for any hard engage right now. I think Annie already burned ultimate and flash. However, Jarvan trying to go in, gets the knock up on Graves. However, Graves just trying to back off. Annie with the proto belt and gets the stun with her W. And Ezreal just trying to dish out as much damage as he can. Malphite does not have ult, so he cannot go and get those juicy grouped up targets. Jarvan gets a 3-man ult. However, he does go down, but GA is going to come out clutch for him. He's going to be responding and trying to get back into the fight. Apex just backing off for now. And L9 are going to be able to pressure the Baron. They are recalling. We'll see if they have enough HP to take this down. So far, Jarvan is a bit low. We'll see if he's just going to be able to smite the Baron right now. He does go for that option. But they are able to take Baron Nashor. Jarvan at 1 HP. If Jinx was able to hit another of those juicy ults, then she would have gotten a kill. And by the way, Katarina does pick up the double kill in the top lane. 2 members of Apex were pretty low. That not only are the kills important because they give you gold, as well as remove people from the map, it's also important because they do not have the Baron buff anymore. So that's why you don't want to go down right after taking Baron. And also, Annie did give some shutdown gold to Katarina, and we know how hard Zero's Katarina can pop off. We'll be seeing if he can go for those outplays in this game. Olaf trying to get a double kill right here. He is low in HP. He does get an attack speed bonus. Let's see if he's able to take out down Malphite. He does get the slow with his axe, and Malphite at 1 HP. Olaf is able to secure the kill. Jumping on Malphite, proving that even though he got nerfed, still is relevant. But in the meantime, Apex able to take down the Mountain Dragon. And with that, they have 2 dragons. And I would call this game pretty even. Even though Olaf did pick up that double kill, the Ocean Dragon, definitely an important objective. And they can press that Elder Dragon. If they do get Elder Dragon, it will be absolutely huge for them, as Elder Dragon will be extremely valuable as they have 2 dragons. Graves going to go down to Jarvan right there. However, he does have GA, so that being popped right there for Graves. And Jarvan burns his ult to try to pop that GA. So now we are approaching towards the stage in the game where most champions have completed their build. And we may be seeing the scaling from Jinx coming out and Jarvan falling off a little bit into the late game. So far, L9 does have a slight gold lead. Again, they are maintaining that 4K gold lead that they've had ever since almost the early game. But it's important to note that Apex does have those 2 dragons. So we're going to see how well they can utilize it. Dragons do scale a bit better than gold does. And if they get into the hyper late game, we're going to be seeing Jinx getting extremely strong and extremely scary with her hyperscaling. Katarina does buy death cap right there. Huge power spike for her. We'll see if she's able to get some of those one shots. And if we do open up the items, we can see that most of the completed builds are out for the side of L9, whereas Apex is struggling to get their completed builds out as they do have that gold deficit. However, it won't matter too much later into the game. As the game progresses later and later, the items should start evening up. The most important fight right now is going to be the Elder Dragon when it does spawn. Whoever secures that is definitely going to have an upper hand in any more team fights. It's going to be the Cloud Drake, so it's going to be providing a bunch of move speed, and it will allow teams to rotate much faster. We see 3 members going for a gank. Olaf just flashing. He knows that he's going to go down, but he's trying to bring Jinx down with him. Jinx burns heal and will escape. Olaf just going to go down like that. Olaf tried to go for the play on Jinx. However, Jinx just too strong. She does pop barrier there. and Graves did heal her just to keep her alive and make sure that she does stay up. But Olaf going to go down for that one. Jarvan just going to escape for now. It looks like Apex are trying to look for a fight with their numbers advantage. Jarvan just going to dash out of there using his third skill and first skill. Katarina a bit low. We won't be seeing her go for some too flashy outplays. Maybe she can make something work. Malphite trying to ult in. Amazing reaction speed by the ADC. Malphite trying to dish out some damage. Katarina going in there. However, she does go down by Ezreal. We see Janna going for the heal and the peel. Really nice ult by her. Healing everyone up. So many people are low. We'll see if Jinx are able to finish them off. She does get one kill. Graves going in on the Janna. Janna just flashes out right there. And Jinx ults, but misses. Annie at 1 HP. Annie at very low. Same with Janna. And with that, it is a 3-for-2 trade. Overall, not too bad, but not really good. If the trajectory of this match keeps on going the way it is, it could mean that L9 will win. But this dragon is coming up. The goal deficit is closing in. And I would say both teams are on even footing. This dragon fight is going to be extremely important. Currently, 2 members of each team are down, but they are respawning extremely quickly. We're going to be seeing Graves start that dragon up right now. And Malphite isn't able to get the value that you want on his ult so far in these team fights. The flashes have been really on point, really there for the side of L9. Olaf just going in again, but goes down. A little bit more of an overextension. Malphite trying to ult again, but misses. You really need to get the max value that you want from his ult. Currently, Malphite are engaging. The frontliners are going in. We see Katarina going in. However, she does go down by Ezreal. Maybe a little bit of overextension by him. And Annie able to burst down Braum, who was overextended as well. Graves was trying to get a leash on the dragon, but so far he hasn't been there for the team fight and dishing out the AoE damage that he loves to do on the team fights. And Graves might be going down as well as his GA is still up. However, Annie not able to get the range with her first skill, and Annie still gets the pick on Malphite. And with that, she picks up the triple kill. 4 of the members are wiped out, but however, they are not able to capitalize by taking the dragon, as Graves is still up. One of the most important members in the game. The jungler has smite. We saw Apex stealing the dragon last time. They have shown that they can do it. Will they do it again is the question. Graves knows that they are at the dragon because they just did clear that ward. We'll be seeing him heading that way. He's pathing that way. We'll be seeing if he is able to make a play happen and smite this dragon for the last hit. Jinx is responding in 5 seconds. She's probably just gonna insta ult that dragon if she can. Ezreal just going for a recall. It looks like the play might have been too risky for them. The dragon is going to reset and gain some more HP. A little bit of indecisiveness on the side of L9 that allows Malphite and Braum both to join this fight. Malphite TPs in, and Malphite finally getting one ult, but Jarvan still able to smite down the Elder Dragon. So far, L9 able to close in. Jarvan going in, frontlining. However, he does go down. Annie able to get the stun. Jinx taking another kill. She's at 1 HP. She does go down to Olaf's Ignite. And with that, Apex take the ace. And with that, they should be able to secure the game. The minions in the mid lane are going down. With that, the inhib should go down too. L9 should be taking game 1 from Apex. Really nice team play going out there. Malphite not getting the max value that he could with the ultimates. Really nice play by Ezreal, outplaying amazing reaction speed. And with that, L9 take game 1. Really nice team fights. Really nice team play. Good coordination. A little bit of a mess up on the dragon at the end. However, they were able to make up for it with their amazing early game and team fighting. MVP going out to Ezreal. Definitely deserved it. Dishing out so much damage. SVP going out for Graves. A non-meta pick. However, he does pick up SVP. And if we look at the damage here, we see that Katarina dealt most of the damage. However, she did go for some sus engages. Ezreal dealing almost 40k damage throughout the entire match. Definitely paid off, hitting those skill shots, making sure not to die by Malphite ult, using his third skill to blink back, front, up, down, all over the map, dishing out so much damage. And Jarvan had not that much damage, but he did have some crucial knockups that did help them win team fights, as well as Olaf side laning. He was a little bit of a weak link in the chain. However, Apex not able to capitalize on that this game. However, next game, we may see the tables turning. Overall, I feel like it was a great game. Both teams definitely had their chances to win the game. A nice Dragon steal coming out early game by Apex, putting them back in the game. However, the comeback just wasn't there. And with that, that concludes my analysis of game one. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. And we are going to be going into game two shortly. And I'll see you there.
I turn around and everything has changed. Looking for a way to work it out. I'm trying to find some peace to navigate. The oak tree where I met you, and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up 'cause there will be a day.
Sorry about that. So the bans have come out so far, and the bans have been a bit different this game. They have banned Braum, Ani, Akali, and of course they banned Orianna. So a ban on Braum this time, and also Annie. Annie was able to get some really clutch studs and snowball pretty hard in the early game. And also the other ones are not too big to mention, but Braum ban is also pretty interesting. He's definitely a good support, but I wouldn't say one of the best supports in the meta. He is pretty good, but the big ban that you want to see coming out is Annie ban. I guess they didn't like playing against the stun. Proto Belt into ult can be really, really devastating if you do it right. So we'll be seeing if the Malphite will come out again. Last game he did not deal so much damage. Currently they aren't doing the draft yet. They have finished the bans, so the next game should start extremely shortly. Okay, so now the game is going in, and we are in the draft. So the first pick going to be Alistar. Definitely one of the more dominant supports, can really push people around if he does hit his combo, especially his knockups. He can get a really nice knockup if he's comboed into the right ADC. We have Shyvana coming out as the jungler. I don't know if they really want to do this against a team like Apex that does like going for lots of those invades. Shyvana really bad against invades. She kind of sucks early game, but late game she can turn into an absolute beast if it does go that far. We have Corki coming out. We'll see if that's going to be ADC or mid Corki. We've seen a lot of ADC Corki in this match so far, as well as Yasuo. Yasuo does combo really well into Alistar ult with his ult. Especially if Alistar is able to get those really huge knockups, then Yasuo is able to combo into it fairly easy. And on Apex's side, we do have Ahri, and it looks like the MM is going to be Miss Fortune. Definitely a good marksman if she can. If Leona is able to hit her ult efficiently, Miss Fortune should also be able to hit her ult really nicely. It's a bit of a scattered team comp, as Shyvana is more good early, but Leona is better in the laning phase. We'll see how that goes. Also, Leona is a really good champion in competitive because she can pick up a lot of different stuns and CC on enemy champions. The jungler of L9's choice is going to be Jarvan. And Jarvan, again, a really nice jungler so far in the series. He has had a really high win rate throughout this entire tournament. And for the top lane, we may be seeing Kennen. And I think it's going to be looking like an Alistar Ezreal bot lane, Corki mid, and Yasuo as their Baron lane. Extremely interesting to see right there. Yasuo having to go up against Kennen. That matchup, I would say, is pretty even. However, Kennen does have that extremely potent ultimate, and Yasuo can combo his ult into Alistar knockup if played properly. So both teams having a lot of potential in this match. We also do see the Ahri as the choice of a mid laner. Definitely can work out really well if she is able to hit those charms in the team fight. And we do see them loading in right now. Definitely going to be a game to watch. L9 did take game 1, but it was a close battle until the end. Apex did fight strong, and we'll see if they are able to make it out, and maybe they'll be able to take game 2, bringing us to another set of 3 games. So we do have them spawning in at level 1 right now. We'll see if there are any cheese strats going to be coming out, any invades that either team will go for. So far, it's looking pretty normal with the bot lane going to bot lane. No lane swap shenanigans coming out, especially after that new patch, with the duo lane having a little bit of a reduced armor on the turrets. And we just have Jarvan recalling maybe taking the sweeper right there. And Shyvana is going to be starting at her Raptors camp, not going to go for a leash on either side. So that's really interesting because Jarvan really likes invading. So maybe they didn't want to give away which side Shyvana started at with a leash. So Shyvana did start at Raptors. She did clear that just now, and she's going to be going for her red next. And we'll see if Jarvan does go for the invade. If he uses the plant, he should be able to see that Shyvana's not there, but he's just going to be going for a standard full clear. You want to be kind of punishing Shyvana at the start of the game with invades, especially as an early game jungler like Jarvan. Shyvana is definitely going to outscale him later into the game. So if Jarvan did invade her blue buff, that would have been a pretty nice lead to get. However, that is not going to happen so far. Jarvan just going for a standard red, Raptors, and blue clear. So far, nothing too big has gone down. No early game kills so far. Everything going as per usual. No cheese did come out, even though they might have wanted to go for Shyvana. Shyvana did not take her blue buff. Instead, straight first going for the Scuttler. Jarvan trying to gank mid. However, Ahri just going to back off nice and easy. And Shyvana will start on her blue. So Shyvana did get the kind of clear that she wanted. No punish coming out from Jarvan so far. And the early game looking pretty stable. The first fight that's going to be a really big fight is going to be the dragon fight. We need to see if Kennen is able to hit his ultimate or if Alistar is able to hit his knockup. Those are the two people that you want to be watching throughout the team fight, as well as Leona if she does engage and get that stun off on a key target, or her ultimate comboed into Misfortunes can be a really, really juicy combo. Alistar goes for the knockup and Jarvan tries to engage. However, Flash is just going to be burned by Leona right there. As well as Heal also was burned in that small little skirmish. Leona does engage on to Ezreal. Ezreal just going to pop barrier and stay safe. Shyvana is there. And Kennen actually picked up the first blood. Yasuo did go for a really risky tower dive and was punished promptly by Kennen. Kennen did use ult. So thing about Kennen ult is it's not going to be up for the first dragon fight. It might be up, but it'll be really close. If they do drag out the dragon fight, it will be close. And actually, Jarvan does get stunned, but he does pick up a kill on Leona. He's able to flash out of his ultimate. Ahri coming in. She does get the charm onto Alistar, but that's just going to be it. 1 kill for 1 kill. A 1-for-1 trade Jarvan for Leona. Not too big. If Ahri did hit the charm on one of the other 2 targets, they could have secured a second kill. So what I was trying to talk about in the top lane is Kennen will have his ult a little bit later for the dragon fight, so we'll be seeing if that comes out. Kennen has extra magic resist and defense stats when he does use his ult, so it's really good for baiting turret dives, because if your enemy does dive you, then if you do hit your ult on them and you hit your procs, it can deal not only a bunch of damage, it also stuns them under turret and CCs them under there, and you can really turn around turret dives even if you're getting ganked 2v1 by the jungler. So that's what makes Kennen such a good Baron laner. However, the dragon is spawning right now. It is that time of the game again. It is the Ocean Drake. We'll see how both teams want to play this around. Alistar does get spotted in that bush by a ward. And Jarvan able to secure the Rift Scoutler. Ahri does get the charm. Alistar going for the knockup. Yasuo ults, but it's just one person. Ezreal goes in with the ult, only hitting Leona so far. Yasuo having to retreat. And he does get stunned by Ennin, but the knockup does come out. Corki going in with the package. Kennen trying to ult. He does have the ult up now, and he does a ton of damage. Misfortune getting a kill on Jarvan. Alistar going for a knockup, but the follow-up isn't there from Ezreal. And so far, it's just going to be a bunch of kills coming out from Apex so far, turning it around. Last time, L9 was the one with the early lead. This time, Apex taking an early lead inside this game. And with that, they should be able to secure the Dragon. Really nice team fighting. There was some nice ults by Alistar. I mean, really nice knockups by Alistar. But there wasn't the follow-up there. And Misfortune and Cannon able to dish out the damage needed to win that team fight. And since they did out damage them, they did win that team fight and get the ult. I wish Corki had used his package a bit earlier, maybe dealt a little bit more of that armor shred that he does have. But yeah, Apex does take that first team fight, and with that, the first Dragon. And not only that, they have a huge gold lead, a 4K gold lead. This was the same deficit that Apex had on the last game. Let's see if they are able to capitalize on it as well as L9 did. The Rift Herald is spawning in 20 seconds. We'll see how both teams go about taking that objective. So it is spawning very soon. Shyvana is a bit closer. She's just trying to clear some vision, but no wards are there. If we do go look at the items, are we going for Archangel Staff? Interestingly enough, first, maybe she's scared of running out of mana. And a lot of completed items there for this side, for both sides. So this Herald fight is definitely going to be interesting to watch. Jarvan does go for the engage with his knockup. Shyvana, however, able to turn around with her ult. Ari dashing in. Yasuo getting the ult. We'll see if he's able to finish that off. Ari does finish off the kill on Jarvan. However, Kennen ult does come out, and he does try to stun the Yasuo passive coming in clutch, as well as Barry. However, he does go down by Kennen right there. Windwall not up fast enough to save him. So with that, 2 members of L9 go down again. Apex furthering their lead. However, they did not take Rift Herald. The important thing to note is Shyvana scales much better than Jarvan, and Jarvan can't afford to lose these early game skirmishes. Jarvan cannot afford to get behind with Shyvana, especially because she is one of those champions that scales so well into the late game. And Yasuo trying to go for that outplay, but isn't able to get it right then. Kennen just has so much utility with his stuns. It's so annoying to go against, but that's just the champ that he is. So Yasuo wasn't able to get the setup that he wanted and isn't able to pick up the double kill. Instead, he got killed in the team fight. However, Yasuo does go for a gank. However, he's just going to get a little bit of poke from Shyvana. Going to heal up nice and fine with that honey fruit. However, L9 Giri taking the position on the Rift Herald. It looks like Apex just going to give this one up, and we'll be seeing how they use it. I hope they use it to split push and put pressure around the map, as that is probably the most efficient way of using the Rift Herald. However, some pro teams just like putting it down mid, which is definitely interesting, especially if a dragon is going down. You have that multi-prong pressure, but I definitely think it is really strong in a side lane, especially if one of your teammates do take teleport. Then they can use the Rift Herald, clear the minion wave out, teleport after taking the gold, and then go in, especially if you have someone like Kennen doing that, who is a Baron laner who's just stuck there in the top lane. And he did use his teleport to go into the top lane. We'll see if it will be up when the next dragon spawns, which is going to be the Infernal Drake. If Apex are able to take this Infernal Drake, it'll combo really nicely into their Ocean Drake, as well as scale and help Shyvana get the extra damage. Alistar going for the knockup, but not too much gonna come out of it. Infernal Drake spawning in 17 seconds. We'll see who takes that. Will Apex strengthen their lead, or will L9 have a chance to come back? We did see the steal coming back. Maybe L9 wants some revenge. Maybe they'll be going for a steal as well. Both teams are going for resets right now, as they want to be as strong as possible for this important dragon fight. Again, Dragon scales really, really well, especially with the Ocean Drake. They really work well together. So if Apex are able to take this, it will make their lead extremely significant, and it'll be a lot harder for L9 to come back into this game. Rift Herald has been summoned in the mid lane. We'll see how this team fight goes on. So far, just a little bit of poke coming out from Misfortune. And when I say poke, it means 20% of your damage with one single skill. Kind of broken right now. Shyvana does start up the dragon. We'll see how both teams want to go about this fight. If Kennen can get that ult, it will be really, really important. Let's see what happens. Shyvana ults in. Kennen gets the ult. Huge ult! Amazing ult! With that, Kennen single-handedly wins the team fight. Leona picking up the kills. 3 members of L9 go down. With that, Apex secures the Infernal Drake. Jarvan isn't there to steal it. Shyvana only getting further ahead in this match. Apex may just be running away with this game as Baron Nashor has spawned. They may be wanting to capitalize on that. Ezreal, third skill, a little bit too late to flash that charm. However, he does escape, and the mid turret still goes down because the weakening of the Rift Herald. L9 going to be able to set up vision, Apex able to set up vision around that turret. And the gold lead has widened into a 10k gold lead between these two teams. Not something that you want to see. Shyvana invading Jarvan. You'd expect the opposite to be going down right now. But Shyvana is so fed, so ahead of Jarvan. Jarvan getting so behind. He wasn't able to win those early game skirmishes that you would expect him to win as a Jarvan 4 in the early to mid game. Shyvana only getting stronger in this game. And Apex getting a huge lead so far. And if we do look at the items, we can see that so far Ahri is getting pretty fed, and she does have 2 items. We almost see that 3 item power spike coming up really soon for MF as well. She is recalling to spend her gold right now. We'll see what item she's going to be starting to build next. Leona does have that gargoyle in chat as well as Dead Man's Plate against all the AD. It's good to mix up your damage, right? So that the enemy team can't just build one type of armor to counter against you. In the case of L9 this game, they only had champions with AD. They did not have any AP champions, and that's one of the major flaws with their team comp. Apex can just build armor against it, and they should be able to capitalize on the team fights pretty easily. And so far, Apex having a really good lead. We need to see them putting on pressure, and after they get even 1 or 2 kills on the enemy team, they can pressure the Baron, which is now up, or they can just wait for the Mountain Dragon, which will be spawning as next dragon. Kennen just clearing out the waves so far. They're both teams just playing a bit passively. I wish Leona, I think that the play for Apex, if they want to finish this game off a bit sooner, is Leona should start camping in certain bushes with the sweeper so that she can hit that stun and CC that she is able to get. Also, Apex able to take down the top turret as well. The third turret coming down this game. All the outer turrets of L9 have cracked so far. And they are just, Apex just widening their lead this game. They have, we'll see if L9 are able to make a comeback. We know how skilled the ADC Captain Kirk on the side of L9 can be. We'll see if he is able to make some of those flashy plays we saw him in the early game and carry this game. However, Jarvan going in with the ult. He does get the 3-man ult, trapping 3 people in. Flash does come out. Misfortune getting him go down by Corki. Ezreal getting the ult, and as I said, L9 going to try to take this team fight down. Ahri does hit the charm. Shyvana, insane amounts of damage and sustain. She is able to pick up the double kill, and with that, they do crush the dreams of L9, trying to get a comeback in this one. Really nice damage, really good start off to the team fight, but Shyvana just saying, nope, get off my lawn. This is where I shine. Mid to late game, where I am scaling off these dragons, where I am so powerful that I can 1v9 your team. Shyvana just says, nope, you guys aren't winning, not while I'm alive. She does pick up those kills and dish out that damage. 4 members for only 1 coming out during that last team fight. The Mountain Dragon is up. Shyvana should be able to capitalize on this and further her lead. If she does take that Mountain Dragon, she will get that added armor and bonus that she does get. Let's see if Jarvan tries to go in. He goes in, he engages. The follow-up isn't there. Yeah, let's see how Yasuo wants to play this out. He is there. Ahri missing charm. We'll see if Kennen is able to get the ult off. So far, Jarvan just trying to go in. Misfortune just ults him. Jarvan is able to steal Dragon, and he is able to get out alive. Really amazing play by him. Huge to get that dragon. Let's see if they are able to finish that team fight off. Ezreal able to dish out so much damage. Amazing positioning and use of his third skill this fight. They are able to win that team fight somehow, pull out a rabbit out of their hat. L9 winning that last team fight as well as getting the Mountain Dragon. Absolutely huge. We'll see if they are going to go for this Baron here. It looks like they might, as the respawn timers are pretty long later into this game. Shyvana not able to get that last dragon. And let's see if they are able to capitalize and take this Baron. Baron going to be pretty nice. Yasuo ulting Ahri, we'll see. She just does pop that Zanya's Hourglass right there. Kennen getting the kill. Really suspicious, really dubious ult right there by Yasuo. He should have expected Kennen and some of the other teammates to try to contest that Baron, just in case L9 did try to finish that off. They weren't able to get the Baron, but they are still able to take that Mountain Dragon. Still pretty huge. So Kennen wasn't able to hit his signature ult that you just see his ult in the middle of your team and you go, aw crap, here we go again. And you lose you lose all your teammates. You lose everyone to the armor shred of his ult. You lose everyone to his stun. But this time it didn't happen. The combo wasn't there. Jarvan able to bait out Misfortune ult early on to the game. Kennen not able to get those huge ults that he was in the previous team fights. And L9 just dishing out so much damage with that Ezreal hitting every single skill shot. Gauntlets just for show. Skills all him. So now L9 do have a way to climb back their way into the game. However, the goal deficit is still pretty huge. They need to still make some plays, but we saw them do it. We'll see if they can do it again. And they do have some scaling on their team, especially with Corki as their mid laner. Corki does scale pretty hard, as well as Yasuo. Not a lot of people know this, but Yasuo does scale pretty well, as he is a crit AD carry in the late game. If he is getting those knockups and he has that armor penetration with his ult, he can definitely carry team fights if played correctly. So we see a team fight gearing up in the mid lane. Shyvana not present, as well as Yasuo not being there as well. Yasuo just split pushing and putting pressure across the map. And looks like both teams are just going to be backing off for now. If Leona is able to get the engage, it could be huge. Jarvan gets charmed and does get poked a bit. Ezreal just ulting to also get some return onto the enemy team. Just a little bit of payback right there. Ezreal does have the red buff. He did dish out so much damage in the last team fight. If he does win this game, definitely going to be the MVP here. We'll also see if Corki can come in clutch. He has been a little bit quieter the entire game. However, Corki can come in clutch, especially later into the game where he does have this items. However, Flash comes out. Ezreal just going to pop QSS and say, no, not today. However, Misfortune ult does come out, hitting both Alistar and Jarvan, but they are the tankiest members on the team. Yasuo trying to win wall that. Huge knockup into Yasuo. Ultimate 3-man ult right there. Ahri popping Zanya's Hourglass. Corki getting the kill on Kennen. Ezreal killing Ahri, and this is where the comeback begins. Shyvana still up, but both of the team members are low. Both Misfortune and Shyvana are low. They aren't going to be engaged, and the mid turret should go down. The next dragon, Cloud Drake, is spawning in the next 20 seconds. We'll see if they are able to get the position on that. Second mid turret is going down. The inner turret will go down, and they aren't going to be pressing the inhib so far. We'll see if they're going to be either taking Dragon or Baron. They need to take one of these objectives to really make the one team fight as effective as possible. Cloud Drake is up. We'll be seeing if they do take Baron. Looks like they're just going to recall, taking a more safer approach after winning this team fight, and they are going to spend their gold. Gold deficit is closing. The gap is closing. Ezreal showing his prowess. Corki scaling into the game, and Yasuo also going to be scaling and going to be scary. Last time they did get that knock up into Yasuo ultimate. Definitely had the CC with that, the CC chain with that helped them win that team fight last time. We'll see if they can do it again. Especially if Yasuo is able to get in there and win wall Misfortune ultimate. It can render her ult absolutely useless if they are able to do this correctly. So we'll see how this next fight goes. The dragon is alive. Both teams going to value that dragon extremely highly. If Apex are able to get this dragon, that might just be the nail in the coffin for L9. but we'll see how both teams approach this. Yasuo buying GA, not a bad item for him. And both teams just playing with extreme caution. Just one mistake in the late game can cost you the entire game. So both teams approaching this with extreme caution. No one really in the side lane so far, except Corki just going to clear that out and put pressure. He can join fights extremely quick with his package ability. More items are being bought by both sides, and if we do look at the items right now, Misfortune did buy that GA. She's not going to be going down so easily now by the people that are just trying to dive her in the backline, going to give her a little bit more armor and also that really nice passive. Shyvana is definitely going to be the one to watch, as well as Misfortune, if they are able to get their act together and if they are able to hit that cannon ult again. We'll see how this team fight goes. We're seeing them just going for a little bit of poke. No one going for any hard engages just yet. Both teams ready for a team fight. Both teams are ready to brawl. Ari barely missing that charm on Ezreal. So many GAs right now. There's 3 on the screen, and Yasuo also did pick up that GA. He is trying to push the side lane in right now. Currently L9, I feel like, are playing this late game a little bit better, as they are pushing the side lanes and putting pressure onto the enemy team, with Corki and Yasuo split pushing a little bit. However, Jarvan does go. Alistar goes in for the knockup. Yasuo's in there to follow up. However, he does pop up that gargle in chat. Cannon ult is pretty huge, and with that, they should be winning the team fight. Yasuo is split pushing. He's taking the inhib in the meantime. However, I don't think it's just going to be worth it, as Jarvan also goes down. Kennen picking up the triple kill right there. Yasuo maybe trying to go for a backdoor right here. We'll see if he's able to get it. Misfortune recalling. Yasuo should have just taken the turret shots. We'll see if he's able to get it. The Nexus down to 2,000 HP. It's going down. Yasuo wind walling. Flashing onto those Nexus. Maybe the biggest backdoor in history. Yasuo taking the backdoor. It was all a distraction. This whole team went down. Did not matter. Yasuo was able to take the Nexus. Huge backdoor for L9, and with that, they are your first finalist, and we'll be seeing them playing in the finals. Yasuo extremely clutch when everything looked like it was, when all their hopes were lost, when everything looked like it was not going to work out, when 4 of his team members went down. Yasuo did not give up. He wind-walled everything. He flashed and he took down the Nexus. Beautiful backdoor by Yasuo. If that isn't hype, I don't know what is. And with that, L9 take the victory, and we'll be seeing them playing again in the finals. If you want to go check that out, it is going to be coming out this weekend. And I really feel bad for Apex. They had a great run. They did have a huge comeback on Level Up in the round of 8. However, they do get eliminated by L9. Amazing team play. Ezreal dishing out so much damage. Not a marksman we see too much in competitive play, but L9 making it work, making the damage come out. Really nice skill shots hit, and overall, great game. Look at that, 23 kills to 11. Does not matter. That's the power of split pushing. That's the power of backdoor. That is the power of hyper scaling 80 carry in the late game. L9 do take this. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a really nice game to cast. It was really enjoyable. If you do like, leave a like down and leave a comment down in the comment section down below. If you do enjoy the content that I produce, please subscribe to the channel, as I will be doing a jungle guide soon. I know a lot of you guys don't know the right pathings to take as a jungler. I'll be giving you all the basic pathings on that, as well as a bunch of tips and tricks that you need to know, because even people in higher elo, diamond, master, grandmaster, I've seen not do this properly. So you want to be checking that out if you are a jungler. With that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I